The number of coronavirus cases in China continues to rise. The authorities began to introduce lockdown measures, which even led to street protests in the number of major cities. The restrictions, in turn, will inevitably cause a decline in oil consumption in China, the world's biggest oil consumer. Against this background, oil prices headed for the level of $80 per barrel. If things remain unchanged, oil prices may well edge even lower. The market situation depends entirely on the further actions of the Chinese government. The quotes will quickly return to the $90 mark only if China eases some of its strict measures aimed at beating this virus. In the meantime, Brent crude oil futures downside momentum accelerated, thus enabling the asset to overcome the variable support level of $82 per barrel. If the price fixes below this mark, the volume of short positions will increase, and in this case, the downtrend initiated in May will continue. Gold has been standing still around $1,750 per ounce since the middle of the last week. However, it has every chance of moving towards $1,800 even this week. The yellow metal may well gain upside momentum amid preliminary data on inflation in the euro area to be released on Wednesday. Until then, the situation in the gold market is unlikely to change fundamentally. Speaking of the ruble, things remain unchanged. Lately, the asset has been trading in the range of 60 to 61 rubles per dollar, while moving closer to 59 rubles per dollar in the after-hour trade. All this stems from a European Union ban on Russian oil supplies that will come into effect soon, as well as Western countries' intention to introduce a price cap on Russian energy. Judging by what is happening during after-hour trading sessions, investors consider these measures to be far from effective. On the contrary, they assume all this will only aggravate the situation with the energy supplies and cause significantly harm to the European economy, whereas Russia is more likely to benefit from a possible surge in energy prices. However, the dynamics of the market will hardly change until Monday, when the EU ban comes into force. However, the dynamics of the market will hardly change until Monday, when the European Union ban comes into force. And that's all for now. We continue to learn developments on financial markets. Subscribe to our channel and follow news with us. See you soon.